The Magic Bicycle by Patten. When Danny Harris knocked a witch into a muddy roadside ditch, she put a spell on his bike. Like it or lump it or like, ride on forever, little tyke. The pedals hissed, the bike frame glowed, the tyres clung to the lonely road. The bike was magic, it came alive, and Danny's legs went into overdrive. When Danny set off to Timbuktu, he found Ben Nevis blocked his view. He puffed and panted to the top, and even then he could not stop. Like it or lump it or like, he was glued by magic to the magic bike. Passing through London on his way to Dover, he knocked a policeman and a guardsman over. His back was aching, his legs felt dead. He wanted to crawl back home to bed. Instead, he cycled through the Channel and he spent an hour whizzing around the Eiffel Tower. When he crossed the snow-capped Pyrenees, the frost and the sunlight burnt his knees. In Spain, his magic bicycle coasted onto the beach where sunbathers roasted. He finally fulfilled a lifelong wish as the bike drifted down among the fish. The floor of the Mediterranean Sea is a very strange place for a boy to be. In Tangier, he found a bazaar full of spices. He'd rather have found some bizarre lolly ices. In the African desert, Danny went crashing into a Bedouin's tent. By the time Mount Kilimanjaro came into view, he'd been bitten by scorpions and snakes, and a camel too. He swung up through Egypt and crossed the Nile on the back of a sleepy crocodile. He cycled through Kuwait, Iraq and Iran, and into the mountains of Afghanistan. He rode through Russia, where the biggest hurdle was navigating the Arctic Circle. His wheels were frozen. He spent several nights sliding under the northern lights. He was up to his neck in frozen snow by the time he got to Ontario. He thought he was lost. His bike was a wreck by the time he had made it through Quebec. Near Niagara Falls, the bike took pity, and it flew him down to New York City. At night, Times Square was the colour of sweets, a gigantic neon-lit bag of treats. Down at the docks on the stroke of midnight, a ghostly ship sailed into sight. It was manned by a frightful skeleton crew who whispered, "We're homeward bound, you come too." Onto the deck the battered bike drifted. Its wheels were buckled, its frame was twisted. Flying fish and seagulls made salty jokes. Octopuses were tangled in its spokes. Danny cycled in his sleep. He was weary and frantic. Round and round the deck he went as they crossed the Atlantic. He dreamt that mermaids and scarecrows danced on an ice floe, and the boat sailed on through oceanic snow. He arrived in Liverpool and once ashore bumped into the same witch as he had before. She snarled, "I'm in a hurry, I want that bike." And Danny smiled, "Keep it as long as you like." She climbed on the bike, forgetting her curse, and rode forever through the universe. The end.